Okay, got our motor here. First thing I need to do, you can see this has a short side for the skinnier bird cage and the longer shaft for the bigger bird cage. So I'm going to put the smaller one on. And there's a, it only fits one way. It has a notch. It's not a completely round circle. It's going to fit right on here. It's on all the way. Now I just got to tighten it up. Tighten up the Allen wrench. Probably didn't mention this in the first video, so I should mention it now. I am not a HVAC tech. Never been trained in heating and air conditioning or anything like that, other than automotive. So if you're not sure what you're doing, you probably want to get some advice from someone who's a professional. I'm not a professional, I'm just a do-it-yourselfer, so probably knew that. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I'm not a professional. Okay, that seems to be on tight. I'm going to slip this, get the wires through first. This is round in here, so you have to make sure you have the Allen bolt lined up with the flat side of the shaft here to get it to seat properly. Okay, got her figured out from the old motor. See, it had a zip tie kind of tied in there, and that zip tie holds it here, which holds it down away from the bird cage and then gets them out of the housing there. So I got that on. Now I just got to get this lined up. It should be good to go. Now I'm going to set it in here just to make sure. Set it in the housing. I'm not going to screw it in permanently yet because I'm going to change that switch. And I just have the feeling that will be a whole lot easier. Ooh, make sure that's not setting on it. Almost set the... Ooh. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, that'll work. Yeah, I think that might be it right there. Okay. Okay, got it all together. You can see I'm spinning it there. Spin's free. Everything seems to be good. Okay, I got the cover on. It's just 9 Phillips screws around, and there's a styrofoam, it looks like styrofoam gasket that was in there. Mine had a couple of breaks in it, but I pieced it together. Should be fine. So now I just got to do the sail switch, and then the blower unit will be ready to go back in. There's little nuts and screws right there. So I got one of them loose. Gotta get the other one loose. I was just using some needle nose vice grips. They can take a screwdriver on the other side, but it's kind of hard to get to. Especially when some idiot put the fan in already. Probably would have been easier to wait on the fan. But it comes right out. Once you get them started, they spin right out. So it's not too bad. Not too bad, not too bad. So pretty much same. but this one was from 1987, so I thought, you know, electronics, they're that old, might as well replace it while I'm in here, just in case. It's not moving anywhere now, so now whenever the blower kicks on, it should knock the old sail switch going. Okay, here is the new high temp switch. So we just need to take the old one out right here, put the new one in. It's all right though. This can be replaced right inside in the camper. You just pull the front cover off and you can get right to this. But we wanted to check it out and try to clean things out as best as we could anyway. So we went ahead and took it all apart and looked at it. And we did find quite a bit of debris in the burner, down in the bottom of the burner. So that wasn't good. So we got that. This is kind of tricky. Had to cut the house. Yow, some sharp ones. Sharpness. Yeah, it just sets right together like that. There's a screw there. 2 screws here is all. So that's not too bad. Doesn't seem like it until you have to get to the bottom screw. That's not quite so easy. Not going to put them in super tight until I get the bottom one, because that can be quite tricky. Okay, there we go. Now I got to set up for this. I needed some more extension. I needed a little bit longer extension to get in there. Hopefully I can get the screw to stay on while I feed it down into here. Okay, I don't know if you can see it down in there. There it is, right down there. I did finally get it. To power the fan. The red one goes on over here on this block. And the ground is right here. Oops, right there. So I had them indexed the wrong way. So I had to take a bunch of stuff loose, and it was just a pain in the butt. Now these wires here go up onto the sail switch. So I got to route them through here to her. Okay, I kind of forgot about the tube here. This takes the outside air, passes through the little fan, and pushes it into the burner, and then it comes out the burner. It's pretty tight because there's a lip on both sides, so I think I got it started in there now. Now I just got to tighten the screws up on that one. There you are. The gasket pretty much stays. It sticks down in that far. So just fit it. There's a piece, you can feel it fit right in there. And then this is there's one screw holding that to there. Right there from the front side. But we're going to go ahead and get these 4 in, tighten them up, and then we should be good to go. Okay, I think I got all my wiring back up. Here's the main board right there. Replaced that a couple years ago. And now what's nice is this one has the old fuse on it. The original board doesn't have a fuse. I got a power surge through my generator somehow, and it blew the board out. Blew a bunch of lights out in the camper too, motorhome. So replaced that a couple years ago. Replaced the igniter last year. Those aren't real expensive. Okay, so it just slides into the case, and then once you get it fit in, there's a screw right under the gas line there, which is kind of a pain in the butt to get to. That's all you got to do is get that in, and then it holds it the rest of the way in place. So I got the case all together, and then I went to put this elbow on, and it was inside of there. Can't turn it. So I'm thinking, it'd be a lot easier just to take the case loose. So if you're working on it, make sure you put the elbow on before you put the case in. Put a bunch of thread tape on this. And it's important, critical that you check this stuff for leaks. You do not want propane leaking out inside the motorhome. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on and hopefully tight. Okay, should be good there. And this is a little bit tricky getting this started. It's especially tricky when your case is all bent out. Yes. Okay, these threads here don't need any tape or any kind of sealant on them like the elbow ones do, or the one inside of here. This connection here, you can see right there, the tapered, it's a flange. That's what's going to seal. The line that's going on, the fuel line going onto this, has got a flare on the end, and when you tighten it down, it's going to sandwich right on here on this taper and tighten real tight. So you just want to make sure that this right here is clean and no burrs or anything like that, so it'll get a good tight seal there. Okay, this is another thing I love about working on motorhomes. Was having trouble getting the heater in. This is supposed to go here. So I thought, you know what? There's a few screws in there. Take those screws out, pop that piece out, and I can get right to that. See that copper line that I kinked? So I got some work to do with that to try to get that straightened out a little bit. So I thought, I'll just pull this wall off. That'd make sense, right? So I start taking screws out, and then there's more and more. Took out like 4 across the bottom, probably 4 across the top. Then there's this brace here that tied into it. And then I look over, oh, some more on the end too, because that's not enough. I mean, you need at least 12. Oh no, there's 13 screws to hold it in. So then I go to pull it out, and there was a board right here that was screwed in real good. So I get that out. There's 2 more screws holding it in, so they're up to 14 now for this little panel. Oh, that's not enough. Let's glue it in too. So we'll put some caulk all along the top of it. Oh, we probably should use staples too. Staples will be good. Okay, I got the propane line hooked up and the propane turned on. And I just recently leak checked here in the other end where I flared it and put it onto a T. It's all in place, ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the thermostat on, and we'll see what happens. It's pretty warm in here, so I'm going to have to turn it way up. gonna set it like 80. Doesn't take much to get hot in here. It's not that hot of a day. Oh, oh. I don't know if you can hear that. The fan just kicked on. And that sounds really good to me because before, when that fan kicked on, you would have heard a really loud squealing noise from that bearing. That sounds great. That is awesome. Oh. Wall back on because I went ahead and pulled this out when I was getting frustrated when I was trying to get that in right about the time I kinked up the gas line. So I got a nice big loop there from where it comes through the floor, loops around and then goes back to the flare where it ties into where the valve is. So I think now I'm going to, I don't have it screwed down to the floor yet. I got to get it lined up, screw it down to the floor, put my plate on the outside, just make sure it's square. Something I forgot to do, I think I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take the grinder, a die grinder, and just got one side cut, and just finish cutting that off, because that's back in there. This is going to set here. It's not really necessary. This is going to go there, in front of it, and then you're going to have another vent plate, and that's a good access panel there. So if you needed to change the fuse right now, say I got another power surge, and it blew the fuse in the on the board there, I would have to take everything apart to get to that. Whereas if I get that out, all I have to do is take those two screws off, and then I can reach my hand right in there and change the fuse. So I think that'll be a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Well, there it is, all back together with a working furnace now. So that's always a plus. I like that kind.